Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and remember, context is everything. Media Network founder and CEO John Michael is watching a television show. Twin Peaks, my favorite TV show. I've seen it 20 times. This is the 21st time. What I'm doing here for the folks at home, and I'm doing it for myself too, is I am watching the series again and cataloging each moment that I find interesting, that is a little bit more on the subtext side of things, more so than the narrative and story based, things that drive the story along. So this is a viewing companion. You watch an episode of Twin Peaks, episode 6, season 1, here, and then you watch this as a viewing companion. You get a little extra details. You get a little bit extra, dare I say, context. Context is everything. Please subscribe if you enjoy. Here we are, timestamp 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Dale Cooper says one of the great lines, "What you need now is a friend," to Audrey Horne as she's laying in his bed, which was not something that he invited. But he handles the situation very tactfully, and I think it's just a good example of how to handle a situation without hurting anyone's feelings, but also, maintaining a vulnerability yourself to kind of balance out. Obviously, Audrey Horne being very vulnerable in that moment, he gives some vulnerability himself. 5 minutes and 45 seconds. We're in the police station. Waldo the bird is healthy. Well, not very healthy, but he's being fed to become healthy again so he can be a witness for the case, because he was at the event with Laura Palmer. They found that out last episode. Now, the reason why I select this scene is because I really like something that Dr. Hayward says when he says, talking about the food that they're feeding this grape. Do you have any more grapes? These are really on the edge. Talking about how fruit goes bad. And I think it's funny. But beyond that, it just builds more character. I think that the funny things that happen in Twin Peaks happen and they add to the story. They're not just out of context funny. They are kind of funny and they're kind of quirky, but they are things that somebody might say in real life. At 12-minute mark, this is an important scene with James, Donna, and Maddie as they listen to Laura Palmer's final tape that she intended to send to Dr. Jacoby. Now, the reason why I select this scene is because there is some lore behind this story. Upon the filming of the pilot, which happened sometime before the first season, the director and the writer, David Lynch, of this show, didn't think that Laura Palmer was going to be in the show at all, really, other than just in the media that you see in flashbacks and videotapes that they have and audio cassettes such as that. But, little detail, he liked how well she acted so much that he said, "I'm going to make her cousin in the show, Maddie. I'm going to write her in." And that affected the whole narrative of the show, because that put Cheryl Lee, the actress in the show, who's an important character, because she was a good actress, which was not the intention. She was kind of supposed to just be this authentic high school age, or what do you call it, a homecoming queen figure. Not necessarily a good actress, but David Lynch found that she was a good actress, put her in the show, affected the whole narrative. Horne's department store. This is story points moving forward. Audrey Horne is spying on Emery Battis, who has a civic award, as you can see on the wall there. He has a civic award for being a good guy, even though he's not. What he's doing right now is he is commissioning a young lady to enter into prostitution. That's what's happening in this scene right now. And just a little detail to that. I really like how the scene looks with her in the closet with the light from the grates going out. Just a nice woody interior of a building. I find very inviting, and that's where you're in right now. And it's a scene that setting you don't really see too much. So I think it's nice. Iconic scene here. And it comes right after we were in Horn's department store, right? So Horn's department store, that's where you buy clothes. Right now, Dale Cooper, Harry Truman, just swinging by the Double R Diner. They're offered coffee. Dale Cooper goes off on his diatribe. Goes off on his speech about every day, once a day, give yourself a present. Could be this, could be that, could the other. Could be a new shirt at the men's store. And I just think that's a nice thing to say when you're directly coming out of the men's store, the department store that you would buy a nice shirt at. This is a subtle little parallel that I appreciate because it happens immediately following them being in a department store. Subtle, doesn't really matter, but hey. Here we have Nadine having been rejected for her patent. Is that how you spell rejected? I might have misspelled it. 21 minutes, 21 seconds. Nadine upset about not getting the patent. And she reflects that it's not just about not getting the patent, it's about the new life. She wants a new start, right? Then she's watching the Invitation to Love, the drama. What do you call it? What are those called? Those morning dramas that are on TV with they seem like they're on theater actors rather than TV actors. I forget what they're called. That show is on in the background, and as Big Ed is saying, "Don't you give up, Nadine. Believe in yourself," or whatever he says, the music is playing from the TV to make it sound really dramatic. As he hugs her, he kind of looks up with this face of something. And I just think it's interesting that he is doing his speech, which sounds similar to something that would be said in one of those morning dramas, with the morning drama music behind him. At 27 minutes, your new life insurance. This gentleman comes into the Martell household, the sawmill owner's household, and is telling Catherine Martell about her life insurance policy that was taken out. Now, this scene, when I first watched it, similar to a lot of things when I first watch it, I was confused by and didn't understand what was happening. What is happening is she has there was a insurance policy taken out under her name, life insurance, which makes her suspicious of something. And so I'm kind of just clearing that up because I know for me, I was confused about it when I first saw it. A really good scene here. At 33 minutes and 30 seconds, the Bookhouse Boys are in One-Eyed Jacks. And as they're acting as if they are dental hygienists from the Tri-Cities, Big Ed slips up and then recovers. And it's a really great scene. And he says the term after he accidentally says, "I own a gas station." And then Blackie, the proprietor of the One-Eyed Jack, says, "Gas station." And then he says, "No, I mean, I'm an oral surgeon." And she says, "Well, I've got a Chevy out back with a real root canal problem." He says, really good response, and you can watch it. But he says, "What's under your hood?" And that's just, if you'll go over here, that's the title of the original Context is Everything program. If you just look for it, you'll find it. The original Context is Everything program, What's Under Your Hood, named after that scene, because I thought, wow, what a phrase. And then I later found out that it's like an old-timey sexual phrase. And the last one for today, there's plenty going on in this episode, but this is the last little detail that I note. Falling into shadow at 35 minutes and 15 seconds. Maddie is sneaking out of the Palmer household. Leland Palmer sees her sneaking out. He, in the picture, is as he turns his head, you could see his face because the light is facing it. And then as he fades and turns his face back, he goes into shadow. Really interesting. And now in the next scene immediately after that, James sees Maddie dressed up as Laura with a wig on. So that's the actress has blonde hair. She dyes her hair black to be Maddie, and now is wearing a blonde wig. So, whatever that would be called. And then Donna sees how James is looking at her because James was in love with Laura. And that's just a little detail that I didn't note the first time I watched it. So that's it for today. Like and subscribe. Thank you. Context is Everything Media Network. John Michael, founder and CEO. Yes. God bless. Goodbye.